I'm Judea Murray, and here on a positive note, we highlight the most heartwarming stories from all around our tri-state that move and inspire us. Now, two women from Westchester moved and inspired the world when their videos showing the power of music went viral. Let's take a look.
The sound of Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake transforming Alzheimer's patient Marta Gonzalez back in time to the 1960s when she was a prima ballerina with the New York City Ballet performing the iconic role. 92-year-old Elaine Lebar is now a viral sensation. The former professional pianist, currently battling dementia, wowing the audience at her Massachusetts senior home. This after saying she doesn't know it.
I don't know it.
Before playing a flawless version of Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata.
This is like autonomic motor memory coming to play.
Dr. Conchetta Tumeno with Mount Vernon's Wahlberg Assisted Living Facility has been studying the impact of music on Alzheimer's patients for 42 years.
The music triggers parts of the brain that are still very well preserved in people with Alzheimer's disease.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
People like Grammy-winning singer Glenn Campbell, who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's back in 2011. Dr. Tumeno worked with Campbell and was at his farewell tour when it rolled into the Paramount Theater in Peekskill in 2012.
During his concerts, as long as he played on the instruments, the guitars for each song that was the same that he was used to, and was able to play it right through without a mistake.
Campbell lost his long battle with Alzheimer's in 2017. Marta Gonzalez passed away last year, but the profound effect music had on their lives will never be forgotten.
November is Alzheimer's Awareness Month, so we want to extend positivity and hope to viewers who have experienced or are experiencing the effects of this disease on their loved ones. Now, November is also Men's Health Awareness Month. This next story from Connecticut is a reminder to stay vigilant.
54-year-old Jeffrey Wood from Trumbull says, like a lot of other men, he didn't think too much about going to the doctor for a prostate cancer screening until his brother had it. Wood says his doctor noticed there might be a problem and Wood had a biopsy. After his doctor found the evidence, he was able to remove all the cancer. Wood did not need any other treatment and is now cancer-free, but he says initially he was worried.
You hear the words, you have cancer. So at that point you're a little stunned and numb, if I had to categorize it. But once you kind of get over that initial feeling, then you're asking what's next.
There's a program catching on in New Jersey schools that rewards kids for being kind and thoughtful. It's called the Good Deeds Initiative, and the teacher who came up with it says it works for in-person and virtual learning.
It's about doing good deeds, of course, that's one component, but it's also about building character, positivity, and self-esteem. Our kids really can't socialize right now, or they're very limited in their socializing. So I think it's more important than ever before that we actually teach that. So that's what I'm working on. Now, the flagship within the Good Deed Initiative is the Good Deed Challenge, which can be used by anybody in its own individual spot. And that's about the Good Deed bracelet. It has medallions. I have 5 different medallions in 6 beads, and the object is to do 6 good deeds a day. And then we can chart that on our goal tracker here. I have small ones that go on the refrigerator, big ones if you're in like a church organization or a community organization or a school. And so it's where competition meets collaboration. And what that means is you and I are in the same family, right? And we have 3 or 4 kids, and we're all competing against one another to try and do the best we can and get the most good deeds. But we're also collaborating because as a family, we're trying to meet maybe 100 good deeds in a week.
Yeah, aside from building character, why is this so important now, do you think, especially in the days of virtual learning where we're, talking to each other over computer screens?
What's important about it is we don't get to communicate with one another live, okay? But so right now, you and I are on a Zoom conference, right? And we have to learn to take turns. I have to recognize and respect that what you have to say is important. And the other side of the coin is, especially as a younger person, I'm like, wait, I want to share. I have ideas. I'm important. So, respect comes into it, and just etiquette, if you will, becomes very, very important. And we normally, as teachers, I've been in education for 3 decades now, and as teachers, that's an everyday thing that I get to model. Well, guess what? Our kids don't get to see that right now.
Yeah.
Our parents are modeling it, but let's tell the truth here. Parents are stressed. Parents are probably not, yeah, exactly, right? So you're not really able to give your youngsters the time and attention that they want. And they want more than ever before because they're not getting it anywhere else. So all of these lessons are going to come together through the media that we have available to us right now. And if it's social media, that's what it is.
Imagine this. You're studying the periodic table of elements over Zoom in your 5th grade science class when all of a sudden, one of the New York Giants crashes it. That's exactly what happened to the kids at Tyson Elementary in East Orange, New Jersey. They met star defense player Jabrill Peppers, who coincidentally is an alum of the school. The students sat through a STEM presentation with him and then got to ask him all sorts of questions.
Mr. Peppers,
That's the man.
how does it feel like to play on the field?
It's like an exhilarating feeling. I get butterflies before every game.
Peppers told the kids how he had been in their place just 15 years ago and then inspired them to go on and do great things too. And that brings us into today's Did You Know, full of new knowledge you'll be happier for knowing. Did you know you can rent an entire movie theater just for yourself and some friends? AMC rolled out a private theater rentals program, and here's how it works. You rent a movie playing at any one of AMC's 600 screening rooms all over the country. A new movie will cost you $149 for up to 20 guests. Previous release movies start at $99. You can book anytime on AMC's website or app. Now for an uplifting story of a woman who comes from humble beginnings. From selling pasta from her porch to owning a restaurant that thrives despite the pandemic, here's proof that you should never give up.
Fresh pasta is made from scratch every day at Pasta Louise, the eatery a little different from your average Italian restaurant.
We use lots of local ingredients, lots of organic ingredients. It doesn't feel heavy like an Italian meal can feel sometimes.
Owner Allison Aravallo sharing some of those delicious savory dishes with us.
This one is our beet and farro salad. This one is homemade whipped ricotta on our homemade focaccia bread and with fennel oil on it. It's lumaki pasta and they look like little rainbows. It has kale and cauliflower pesto on it with homemade breadcrumbs and burrata.
The restaurant's April opening was halted by the pandemic. In the meantime, Aravallo started making fresh pasta at home and selling it to neighbors from her stoop. It was so popular, she would make 65 pounds twice a week and sold out in minutes. It served as an introduction to what her restaurant would offer.
People would love the walk to come pick up their bag, and we would chat from far away for a few minutes. And so when I opened this, people just got really excited to have that connection and to see me here.
Finally opening in July, the restaurant continues selling fresh pasta kits that you can add sauce and a bottle of wine to, or you can enjoy their outdoor seating. Pasta Louise, named after Aravallo's grandmother.
She taught me about cooking, about food, about the importance of family.
Using her grandmother's recipes to make delicious dishes and welcoming neighbors with a warm and friendly atmosphere.
It's almost like an extension of your house. You could come here and just feel really comfortable. You could have some wine. You could just relax.
This next story comes from Connecticut, where a pastor waits on his last leg of life for an organ transplant. But rather than worry, he's spending his days helping 1,500 children have the best holiday season ever. You have to see this.
Good morning, Greater Bridgeport Christian Fellowship. This is Pastor Eric speaking.
The phone has been ringing off the hook here at Greater Bridgeport Fellowship Church on Boston Avenue.
You are able to register for toys. We will be distributing them on December 10th.
Where Pastor Eric Torres runs one of the biggest Toys for Tots programs in New England, providing holiday gifts to more than 1,500 kids in the Greater Bridgeport region.
We're really excited about that because I have a great team that is put together, that is willing to labor and come alongside me to make it possible to bring smiles to children's faces this Christmas.
But what you'd never know when talking to Eric and his mom about their massive annual charity effort is that he has been praying to God every single day for a miracle to save his life. 2 months after finding out that he has stage 5 kidney disease, which is often fatal.
It was heartbreaking, especially at 40 years old, to find out that I was in need of a kidney transplant and had to immediately go on dialysis.
It really set us back, and we all were filled with emotion and tears, but we also knew that Eric is a fighter.
It was Eric's fighting spirit that made national news 2 years ago when thieves broke into the storage units behind his church and stole thousands of dollars worth of gifts. They were earmarked for families in need. Eric fought back then, getting all new gifts for the kids, and he's fighting back now to get a new kidney for himself.
I remain steadfast, and I'm a firm believer that the race is not given to the swift or to the strong, but it is given to those who endure, and I am determined to endure.
Not only did he fight for himself, more importantly, he fights for others.
Eric, who's also a popular school principal, has been fighting for others ever since he was a child. Now, even as he fights for his life, he's fighting for all the children who would otherwise not get gifts on the holiday. His simple hope is that someone, somewhere, will give him the gift of life before the clock runs out.
I've been told that I'm a prime candidate for a kidney transplant. That is something that I'm absolutely looking forward to, because I'm looking forward to another 20, 30, 40 years of serving my community and giving the best of me, because I absolutely believe that they deserve that.
And if you want to help Pastor Torres with his mission, his family says he's running out of sick time at work and his bills are piling up. The link to a GoFundMe created for him is available on news12.com.